Tonight on News 5 Live, more political drama from the UDP. This time, the target is Tracy Panton. Her pointed letter to Aldo Salazar and why she is calling this latest attack unconstitutional. In a few days, he'll be the new CEO of SSB. But how will Dr. Almendarez move the board forward? His interview tonight. Outgoing CEO Deborah Ruiz on NTUCB's concerns. And if you are one of those drivers that runs the red light, we've got bad news. We caught you on camera. Tonight, the dozens of traffic violations that occur in minutes and the amount of money the City Council is losing. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Get ready for the 55th Annual General Assembly of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union, live from beautiful Placencia, Belize. Join us as Belize hosts this prestigious event, showcasing its rich blend of cultures, pristine natural beauty, and warm hospitality. Tune in to Channel 5 for the opening ceremony on Monday, August 12th at 7 p.m. and the 35th Caribbean Media Awards on Tuesday, August 13th at 7 p.m. It'll also stream on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Don't miss this exciting opportunity to celebrate excellence in Caribbean broadcasting. The 55th Annual General Assembly of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union and the 35th Caribbean Media Awards, live on Channel 5.
Child marriage is not just a legal issue, it's a matter of human rights and a form of gender-based violence. It often emerges from cultural beliefs and influence of close-minded relatives, depriving children of their basic human rights to freedom, security, education, and a voice.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to smart code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never make the ground, but now there's nowhere to hide. Since you pushed my love aside, I'm out of my head.
Amaze me the way that she dances, ain't afraid to take chances, and wears her heart on her sleeve. And I run from miles just to get a taste. Must be love on the brain.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday night at 8 for KTV The Remix Season 6, live only on 5.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, August 9th. I am Elise Gayon Vernon. Tonight, we bring you another episode of UDP's political drama. Tonight's installment features UDP leader Moses Shine Barrow and his challenger, Albert Area Representative Tracy Panton. Panton fired off a letter to the chairman of the UDP's Ethics and Integrity Committee, Alda Salazar, when she saw this flyer circulating. The flyer calls for interested persons to submit applications to become the next standard bearer for Caribbean Shores, which is the constituency that Panton represents. In her letter, Panton tells Salazar, quote, "As far as I am aware, the decision to remove the current standard bearer is unconstitutional and therefore illegal. There must be a convening of a National Party Council meeting for such a decision to be taken by its membership." End quote. She continues, quote, "I urge you to look into this matter post haste so that this decision can be rescinded with immediate effect." Sources within the UDP tell News 5 that this is the latest move from the party's leadership to have Panton removed for leading the charge against Barrow. And Panton has been throwing a lot of shade on Facebook. Her most recent post states, quote, "I stand in solidarity with all women who are abused, bullied, disrespected, disregarded, or threatened by insecure men who would do just about anything to ensure she does not have a seat at the table." End quote. On Thursday night, we told you who the new Chief Executive Officer of the Social Security Board will be. That person is Dr. Leroy Almendarez, who is leaving his position as Executive Director of Beltrade to head the SSB. He replaces Deborah Ruiz, who decided not to renew her contract. Dr. Almendarez is expected to officially take up the post on August 19th. Today, at the annual SSB Connect Forum, Dr. Almendarez spoke to the press.
When I submitted my notice that I did not intend to renew, the board formed a search committee, and an open advertisement was made, and we had several persons respond. So we had a short list and we had interviews being done. So he was selected through an interview process on the recommendation of the committee, tabled to the board, and a discussion had, and the recommendation was supported. So we have an incoming CEO in the person of Dr. Leroy Almendarez, and we also have a deputy CEO coming in the person of Mr. Jerome Palmer.
In terms of transition, I must say that understanding the role that Social Security is supposed to play in our society. I mean, the United Nations, really basically said it's a human right when it comes to social protection, when it comes to creation of employment and skill building and those kind of things, and the fact that you should be able to participate. So for me now, it's really moving into a situation where I think I have an understanding, but it's until you enter the organization, then you get a full understanding. But for me, like I said, one of the major things where it's concerned, SSB is concerned, is the fact that it's contributors' money. It's employees, it's employers and employees' money. If you work for yourself, it makes it even more challenging. And so the security of that fund, the fact that the fund must continue to grow.
Today, at the annual SSB Connect Forum, the Executive Director of Beltrade, Dr. Leroy Almendarez, was introduced as the incoming CEO of the Social Security Board. Dr. Almendarez is assuming the post amidst tensions between the board, the Christian Workers Union, and the National Trade Union Congress of Belize. In recent weeks, the unions have written to the board expressing frustration over their alleged exclusions from crucial meetings and conversations. We spoke with Dr. Almendarez about how he plans to navigate this transition. Here's what he had to say.
I consider the unions, let's say that. Remember, they represent labor. It's important for them to protect the people, that they represent, because everybody cannot come to the table. I intend, and I say I in this case, to have a relationship, to have open dialogue with the unions. In essence, let it not get to the public. The door will be open where we can discuss these things in advance, so that it does not have to be escalated. Where we think that it requires a situation where the board needs to intervene, then it's for me to listen and take that information to the chair and say, okay, we need to look at this even more closely, because I believe that for every situation there is a resolution. And so when I saw, for example, the black ribbons on some members of staff, knowing that I was going to take over, I say, okay, how did we get here? Because where I work now, we don't get there. Right? We resolve internal issues, of course, even in the absence of a union. But they represent the people that they represent, even if they're employees of Social Security. It is my job, working along with the deputy, working along with the management team, and really in cohesion with the board, to make sure that the work that we do are in fact all for the benefit, for the benefit of those internal. Let me say this quickly. If you do not make the environment conducive for your internal customers, who are your employees, then the external customers will be disadvantaged, because they will not get the kind of service that they're supposed to be getting. We build a team, we create an environment where people feel welcome, to perform. But as I said, where the unions are concerned, they are there for a reason. And one of the things I will not do is to close the door from the unions when they say we need to dialogue.
The Christian Workers Union and the Social Security Board are in dialogue over the conditions of the collective bargaining agreement. After the recent announcement that the board would be hiring a deputy CEO, The union claims that the post was not adequately advertised, which they maintain is contradictory to the conditions of the agreement. However, Leonora Flowers, president of the CWU, says that the particles have since been in discussion about the matter, and she expects positive progress in the future.
We're getting to those as we speak. We have different meetings set up, and we're going to work through those. Everything's positive going forward.
Is there any details you can share with us? Because I believe the last time we spoke with Ms. Ruiz, she said she wasn't aware that there were any issues.
Since then, we have sat down with the CEO and her team, management, and we have discussed those issues. Most of them have been reviewed in a positive form so far, and we have others that we have to work on.
So in light of what you've just said, do you guys have like maybe an estimated timeline when you're hoping to have all those discussions wrapped up?
Not yet. Can we go back to the table again? A timeline is not yet set. We have more dialogue to do.
Is it that there were problems with what was currently in the CBA? Is there a signed CBA, and was it things inside that needed to be changed?
No, not really change. It's just that management needs to be reminded ever so often that the CBA says this, and so when you step out of line, the union has to say you're stepping out of line and we expect you to abide by those. That's all we did, and that's how we continue to do every time we sit with SSB. Remind them that the CBA stands. That's like our Bible for our members. So if you step out of line, we have to remind you. There's a process to do that. So that's what we did. We sat at the table. You're not doing this. We don't believe. We think you're disrespecting our members. We think you're going, and we cannot allow this to continue. So that's what we continue to do every time.
I do know that it's something new to SSB and new to our union members as well. What I do believe I've been informed of is that they don't do promotions in SSB. They generally do interviews, and lately they did some promotions, and that's something new, which goes against the CBA. Along with that, recently I believe they changed it from promotion to reclassification, which is also something new. And when you're dealing with terms and conditions of workers that are covered under a collective bargaining agreement, you should be going within the guidelines of that CBA. So there is some friction there, I know, but I don't have an update for you as yet.
Over the past few months, tensions have been high between the Social Security Board and the National Trade Union Congress of Belize. In a letter sent to the board, the union members claim they have been consistently excluded from important dialogues, such as the decision to hire a deputy CEO for the board. The SSB then issued a release maintaining that all proper protocol had been adhered to. We asked CEO Deborah Ruiz for an update on the discussions between the parties. Here's what she had to say.
In terms of a discussion, I know that would be at the board level, so I am not aware that a meeting per se has been had apart from our board meeting where the NTUCB is a member of our board, so discussions have been had at our board level, but in terms of resolving concerns, I think that would merit further conversation with our board, no? I can't speak to that at this time.
One of the issues that they had brought up was a lack of transparency and communication between the SSB and the NTUCB.
The NTUCB is a vital partner. They sit on our board. I'm not sure if the concern that you refer to refers to the NTUCB proper or the persons who they nominate to sit on our board. The persons who are nominated to sit on the board, the way the process works is that if any matter comes up for a decision, we have prepared board agenda, we have decision matters, and we have other matters. If suggestions are come up under other matters, then as the nominee for the whatever, whether it be the chamber or the NTUCB or the government of Belize, they have a vote. And the vote is by majority. Those are the rules of the organization. So, yes, that is as far as I could say. But normally, any substantial matter, we do try to give notice by presenting the papers early that they have a chance to review. The concern that for me personally would be in terms of how that is done, because some matters are private, to the directors of the company. So it all depends on how they manage their fiduciary responsibility.
Coming up, captured on camera, the drivers who run the red light.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "What shall I do then with Jesus, which is called Christ?" Of the many important questions in the Bible, none are more important than these. What think you of Christ? Whose son is he? And what shall I do then with Jesus? The answer to these questions can determine where a person will spend eternity. In 1987, the Minnesota Twins baseball team won the American League pennant for the first time in 22 years. More than 50,000 people crowded into the Metrodome to welcome their victors home from Detroit. Banners were waving, horns were blaring. The crowd was cheering. The players were surrounded by members of the news media. One reporter in the crowd called out to Greg Gagne, the Twins' star shortstop, and commented, "This has got to be the greatest moment of your life." Quietly, Gagne replied, "Actually, no. That was the moment I asked Jesus Christ into my life." The greatest decision that anyone ever makes is when they do what Greg Gagne did. Read God's Word and answer how you too can make this important decision. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Attention Digi customers! Being a Digi customer is now even more rewarding with our new DigiPoints loyalty and rewards app. Digi customers countrywide can now earn Digi loyalty points and redeem points for awesome prizes like Digi merch, Digi cash, Digi services, vouchers, coupons, and more. Use your points to play fun games and win even more amazing prizes. You can be one of our daily winners. Excited? You should be. Download and register for DigiPoints and begin to earn points and win today. Available in your favorite app store.
Get ready for the 55th Annual General Assembly of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union, live from beautiful Placencia, Belize. Join us as Belize hosts this prestigious event, showcasing its rich blend of cultures, pristine natural beauty, and warm hospitality. Tune in to Channel 5 for the opening ceremony on Monday, August 12th at 7 p.m. and the 35th Caribbean Media Awards on Tuesday, August 13th at 7 p.m. It'll also stream on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Don't miss this exciting opportunity to celebrate excellence in Caribbean broadcasting. The 55th Annual General Assembly of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union and the 35th Caribbean Media Awards, live on Channel 5.
In July, the United Democratic Party called for an independent audit of the Leadership Intervention Unit, citing credible allegations of malfeasance, misappropriation, and misuse of public funds. According to the opposition, checks are allegedly being issued to individuals who have left the country and are seeking asylum in the U.S. as well as to those incarcerated for gang-related activities. They also claim that the LIU is being used to funnel public funds to political operatives. Today, reporters asked LIU Chairperson Dominique Norales to respond to these allegations. Here's what she had to say.
First, I think it's important to establish that I am not a politician, and so I don't respond to partisan propaganda. Secondly, always open to an audit. It is the government's funds, and if it is something that the leader of opposition can galvanize support and to request an audit, then by all means, my doors are open. My processes are transparent and even more efficient now, given our transition to digital wallet. In fact, all of my employees have been paid since 8:15 this morning, as opposed to 6 o'clock in the evening when they get checks. So I'm always open to an audit. I have no problem with that.
One of the things that the leader of opposition had said was that there are people who are not even living in Belize. I don't know where he got that information from, as well as people who may be dead, who would have still been under the LIU program.
In order to be on the Leadership Intervention Unit program and receive any assistance from us, you have to bring in a social security card, which means those people have to be alive. And so getting this thing about people being dead and getting paid, kind of ship I run. And my list has been renewed about 2 or 3 weeks ago, which is why the transition to digital wallet is easier now. So everybody has to hand in a social security. That is a part of the accountability mechanisms from the central bank to use these e-wallets. And so there are no complaints to be made. Everyone is alive and everyone is receiving their funds from the LIU.
But before you came on board, what did you find?
There were some issues with structure. And that has been the first year of my tenure, really, fixing the structural issues and making sure my team is up to par with making sure that we can deliver the services that the cabinet paper that brought the LIU to life envisaged now. So before there were some structural issues, we've since fixed those, and we move to the future with renewed vigor.
On Thursday night, we reported on the transfer of Corporal Anastasia O from San Pedro Town to Belize City on August 1st, following his involvement in an incident involving alleged police abuse. Corporal O took the statement of a 15-year-old minor on July 7th after Sergeant Devin McKinn was filmed pistol whipping 22-year-old Ryan Mendez. McKinn claimed he acted under the belief that Mendez was armed after allegedly chasing the minor with a firearm. However, the minor's statement, which News 5 has obtained, did not support McKinn's account. The boy stated he saw someone running toward him but couldn't identify the person or confirm if they were armed. This contradicts McKinn's assertion that the minor reported being chased by an armed individual. The minor explained that he ran to safety at a nearby bar before Sergeant McKinn arrived and questioned him. Without solid evidence or identification, police were unable to charge Mendez. We will continue to monitor this developing story. Traffic lights are crucial for controlling traffic flow at busy intersections worldwide, including in Belize. However, many motorists in Belize City frequently bypass these regulations, often due to being in a rush or disregarding the rules. The Belize City Council employs traffic enforcement officers to detect and ticket offenders, but limited resources and equipment mean many violations go unnoticed. This not only undermines traffic safety, but also results in lost revenue for the city from fines. News 5's Paul Lopez investigated the frequency of these violations at the city's main intersection.
Traffic lights are established to manage the flow of traffic, especially at busy intersections. A total of 7 traffic lights are established across Belize City.
As you guys are seeing, we're moving towards stoplights, we're moving towards parking meters. We've just launched the e-bus. So it's all part of the ecosystem. We're trying to make the city a smart city. It's not only for motorists, it's also for pedestrians.
Yes.
For the safety of pedestrians.
The rules motorists should adhere to at a traffic light are simple. Red light means stop, yellow light means prepare to stop, and green light means go. And then there's the arrow system that directs motorists wanting to make certain turns at an intersection.
It helped because whenever one section is on red, the other section traffic can flow. So without the lights, it would have been more chaos. So the lights, it do help. Share the traffic for all different directions.
The areas where we see strategic stoplights is because we've had studies.
Yeah.
We've been out there, we've seen the traffic congestion, and that's the reason the City Council paved the way to have stoplights at these junctions. A lot of people, a lot of residents don't know that when the light is on yellow, speeding on a yellow is also a violation.
The penalty for disobeying a traffic sign or a traffic light is $50. So, how many people in Belize City obey the rules of traffic lights? And how much money is the city missing out on daily as motorists violate traffic light regulations? We went out on a covert operation to investigate. We spent at least 10 minutes at 4 different intersections to capture as many traffic lights infractions as possible within that time span. Our first stop was the intersection between Freetown Road, Douglas Jones, and Wilson Streets. 2 minutes in, this vehicle speeds up at the yellow light instead of slowing down. That warrants a fine of $50. 3 minutes in, these 2 pickup trucks do the same thing. That is an additional $100 in fines. This red SUV daringly sped past a yellow light. The light turned red while the vehicle was in the middle of the intersection. That is another $50. Within 10 minutes on this side of the intersection alone, we recorded at least 8 traffic light violations. That is a whopping $400 in fines for the city. And those violations only became more egregious at the Central American Boulevard and Neil Penn Road intersection. Within 3 minutes of recording, this government vehicle sped up at a yellow light. An SUV followed behind and barely made it across before the light turned red. That is $100 in violation fines. Here, this car makes a left U-turn on a red light to go in the opposite direction. Another ticket and fine. At least, Belize's first cyber truck adhered to the traffic light rules. But only moments later, this city bus runs a yellow light that quickly turned into a red light. The motorcycle behind it certainly ran a red light. That is 2 $50 fines. On the other side of the boulevard, these 2 SUVs completely ignored the red light as they drove across the intersection, resulting in another $100 in fines. And the infractions only continued. With all that our cameras captured, fines that would be due to the city now stands at $1,000. Unfortunately, no traffic officers were in sight to ticket these violators. And even though a police booth is situated at this intersection, its presence does little to stop these violations from occurring. Another set of traffic lights is situated at the Chatham Street and Albert Hoy Avenue intersection. Only a minute into us being there, and already our cameras captured a pickup truck running a red light. The driver of this white car also did not appear bothered as the vehicle ran the red lights. Risking his life, this motorcycle also runs a red light. And even at the intersection between Vernon Street and Chatham Boulevard, traffic light infractions kept occurring. Within 40 minutes at 4 different intersections, we documented at least 30 traffic light violations. That would amount to at least $1,500 in fines that the city could receive. But with limited human resources at the Belize City Council's traffic department, catching the rule breakers is not as clear-cut.
We do have operations at these lights. It's something that we try to do at least 3, maybe 4 times a week. In the mornings, we have officers at these different lights, ensuring that people are following the light system. At the moment, we're not equipped to have officers at every stoplight, but we try our best to have them at least at 3 out of the 6, sometimes 4 out of the 6 in the morning.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
In July, the Ministry of Investment, through its Investment Policy and Compliance Unit, teamed up with the Taiwan Technical Mission and the National Women's Commission to launch an animation boot camp for women and teens. That initial opening was held in Belize City to provide the participants with in-person and online training. This is with a view to create opportunities for them to learn basic digital skills in graphic design and animation to be able to produce short animated movies and attract employment. The event moved to Orange Walk on Thursday, and News 5's Marian Ali filed this report.
30 women in Orange Walk who have expressed interest in animation and art have an opportunity over the next few days to learn to hone their skills in this area, with a view to creating their own livelihood by putting their training to work. They are taking part in an animation boot camp at the Orange Walk Technical High School. The project is part of the government's effort to push for an orange economy, using creative assets to contribute to economic activity and growth. Spearheading the 6-day training is Javon Sankar.
There is huge opportunities for our country's economic development. I also have friends in other countries that have animation studio. And for example, Trinidad, Martinique, Jamaica. And they talk about projects being outsourced to them in the Caribbean from other countries, all right, from America. A lot of times people, and I have worked on a lot of projects as well from people abroad, and they like working with me. Guess why? It's affordable to them. You see the exchange rate, they love the exchange rate, and that doesn't mean we're not getting paid good. Yes, we're getting paid good. But the thing is, we have the opportunity to tap into a market.
If the event is successful, it could improve the unemployment rate for women who currently need jobs, as Prime Minister John Briceño alluded to.
When you look at the statistics, it is about 40% of women are there that are not working. So could you imagine that if you could harness, if you could unleash that talent that you have, those that are staying home because for different reasons they have to take care of the children. So there's no daycare centers that you can take your children. But if you could imagine that if you could unleash that talent that you have and put it and invest it in the economy, Belize can double its economy in less than 10 years. And what you're doing here with the orange economy and animation and using technology means that in many instances you do not have to leave the home to be able to have a job that can empower you economically. Presently with the call centers, there are a number of people that are working from home. Animation could be one of them.
The project's implementation came with financial support from the Taiwanese government, and their ambassador says that already it has made some positive impact.
I understand this series of programs has been held in other places of the nation, and it's already a boom for many young women and that interested in animation. So I'm very excited that this program today come to Orange Walk. This collaborative initiative is between the Taiwan ICDF, the Office of the Prime Minister and Ministry of Investment, as well as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade, and National Women's Commission. And it is part of our ongoing bilateral Taiwan-Belize Women's Empowerment Project that has been running for more than 2.5 years.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
After the break, Social Security Board hosts annual public forum. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Them is a hurricane I win this year because we are champion.
Benny's Belize Hurricanes wants you to know it ain't over until we say so. We still got some more to go. The BEBL Finals Game 5 is very much alive, echoing the words of the late great Houston Rocket coach Rudy T.
Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion.
It's all going down this Friday, August 9 at the Belize Civic Center, beginning at 9 p.m. sharp. Game 5 of the BEBL Finals between your three-time undefending champion, Benny's Belize Hurricanes, going for 4. Their opponents, the Belize City Defenders, who will be crowned the 2024 BEBL champion. This is it. Your defending champion, poised and ready to bring the Category 5 on their opponents and go back-to-back as champions, being the most decorated franchise in the BEBL. Can the Hurricanes pull it off? Can the Dynasty add to its collection? Can the Hurricanes fulfill their destiny?
I wanna rule my destiny.
The halftime show will be a three-pointer to win the coveted Cellular World Samsung Giant 75-inch TV. We will not stop until someone wins. Plus, of course, there'll be lots of other giveaways.
One team, one big family. Yeah.
Remember, it's going to be a dynamite Friday night, August 9, beginning at 9 p.m. sharp for Game 5 of the BEBL Finals between Benny's Belize Hurricanes and the Belize City Defenders. The after party will be a Thirsty Thursdays. Sponsors.
Some of them are hate we are real winner, but we not care we are real winner.
Belize City Chicken Express, with spacious parking and air conditioning, has the widest variety of delicious chicken dishes to satisfy your every craving. You've been asking, and we heard you. Our Belize City branch is now open until 8 p.m. Chicken Express, with the unique taste of quality chicken.
Get ready for the 55th Annual General Assembly of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union, live from beautiful Placencia, Belize. Join us as Belize hosts this prestigious event, showcasing its rich blend of cultures, pristine natural beauty, and warm hospitality. Tune in to Channel 5 for the opening ceremony on Monday, August 12th at 7 p.m. and the 35th Caribbean Media Awards on Tuesday, August 13th at 7 p.m. It'll also stream on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Don't miss this exciting opportunity to celebrate excellence in Caribbean broadcasting. The 55th Annual General Assembly of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union and the 35th Caribbean Media Awards, live on Channel 5.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to Smart Code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
I'm off the deep end.
watch as I dive in. I'll never make the ground. But now there's nowhere to hide. Since you pushed my love aside, I'm out of my head.
Amaze me the way that she dances, ain't afraid to take chances, and wears her heart on her sleeve. And I run from miles just to get a taste. Must be love on the brain.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday night at 8 for KTV The Remix Season 6. Live only on 5.
Today, the Social Security Board hosted its annual SSB Connect Public Forum in Belize City, where stakeholders and members of the board gathered to discuss issues and plans for improvement. This year, the SSB is working to strengthen bonds with stakeholders and improve operations to better fit its demographic. News 5's Brittany Gordon has the details.
Our annual Social Security Connect, which is a public forum where we report on the operations activities and the actuarial assessment and review done by the actuary. I think it is important for transparency because it gives the opportunity for our stakeholders to be aware of what are the challenges, what are the successes, and what are the innovative strategies that would be taken by the board moving forward to further develop a program content and hear from our stakeholders what changes they want to see done to the Social Security program.
The SSB Connect Forum provides an opportunity for stakeholders to discuss any concerns they may have regarding the operations of the board. But it is also a platform for the SSB to highlight the successes and progress made over the past year. We spoke to SSB's outgoing CEO, Deborah Ruiz.
In terms of operations, we will be looking more at, as you indicated, what our learning platform is. It's not going as fast as we would like because, we're dealing with a vast 42 years of data that we have to clean up and make sure that when it's online, because shortly customers will be able to see their contribution payments, and then we are working on deploying the benefits module. The sickness benefit will be the first one coming online shortly, so persons have the opportunity to file their medical claims online. We will have an employee medical portal where the medical providers are able to do the medical certificates online, and we full transparency in terms of the process of how long your claim will take from the time you submit it to the time the payment is in your bank account. So that is a big change for us from where we started with the manual process.
The attendance of stakeholders is key to the success of the forum. Director of Education at the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, Trisha Perez, says that the NTUCB's participation underscored the union's desire to represent and protect workers in Belize.
We were invited to join in the SSB Connect today. What we've been doing over the last few years, we've been participating with the social protection floor and to see how best we could increase social protection coverage for all workers in Belize, along with the rest of the society.
Attending for the first time this year is the president of the Christian Workers Union, Leonora Flowers. She said that the union recognizes the progress and achievements of SSB, and the union continues to work in tandem for the betterment of the country.
My presence today is to celebrate, of course, the good reviews that SSB is getting. Being from the union, it doesn't mean that we don't know that there are very good things happening there. And so we are here. I am here particularly, first time at the SSB Connect to celebrate the good reviews that's happening.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness has received a donation of medical equipment from the International Organization for Migration. The equipment, worth over $151,000, is part of the project called Building Climate Change Resilience and Social Integration of Displaced People in Settlements of Western Belize, introduced in February 2022. The project is funded by the European Union with a grant of $4.6 million that aims to enhance resilience in 5 Western communities. It included the construction of 5 community centers that can be used as hurricane shelters, as well as a polyclinic, upgrades to water systems in 3 communities, and the installation of culverts and drainage in 2 communities. It also provides a water bowser, firefighting equipment, and training. Now that the communities of Santa Familia, Billy White, Los Tambos, Duck Run 1 and Duck Run 3 have begun to see the infrastructural upgrades, IOM has decided to invest the leftover monies in medical equipment. Head of the IOM office in Belize, Diana Locke, explains what the funds were used to purchase.
We are partnering with the government to do a project in Western Belize, 5 communities, and we thought that this was important. The polyclinic was slated to be one of the buildings constructed, that's being constructed by the government side, and we had some extra funds that were left. We were doing training, and we had some extra funds that were left, and we said, look, we wanted to see how we could support the polyclinic in the funds. We had little funds budgeted for that. Unfortunately, due to construction costs, it ate away some more of the money. And so we ended up with the 151,000, and we were able to, with the Ministry of Health, speak with them to find out what were the more critical items that they needed in the polyclinic that they would have to purchase. And so we came up with the list. As a computer and printer, we have waiting room chairs, refrigerators. That is very important for keeping the vaccines and the different things that they will need to administer in the community. We have diagnostic sets, tuning forks, Doppler sonotrax, we have scales, we have pediatric scales as well as adult scales, the dressing trolleys, the blood pressure apparatuses, EKG machine, we have patient trolley, crash carts, cardiac monitor, we have the fibrillatory chair, the autoclave, the defibrillator, backboard and spinal board, and we have cervical collars. So this is just a few of the items that they need. That they will have access to in the polyclinic. By no means is it all, and so but this is a significant contribution to the operation of the polyclinic. So we are very happy that we were able to use these funds to do that, and which will benefit immediately from the information that we have over 5,000 people that live in those communities.
3 men accused of carrying out a daring armed robbery on Freetown Road earlier this week have been remanded to the Belize Central Prison. The suspects are 24-year-old call center agent Malik Chavez, 19-year-old Leroy Garoy, and 45-year-old taxi driver Harvey Sambula, who allegedly drove the getaway vehicle. Chavez and Garoy face charges of aggravated burglary and abetment to commit aggravated burglary. Sambula, in his defense, claimed he was simply doing his job as a taxi driver and is not involved in criminal activities. However, the court denied him bail, and he was remanded along with the others until their next court appearance on September 23rd. The robbery took a deadly turn when a 4th suspect, Leroy Smith, was shot and killed during the incident. According to reports, Smith, Chavez, and Garoy used a handgun to force 33-year-old businessman Michael Cambranes, owner of Casa Churros and Mini Cafe, into his establishment just before noon on Tuesday. As Cambranes was opening his business, the men demanded money. When Cambranes stated he had none, Smith, allegedly holding the gun, forced him upstairs. A struggle ensued, and Cambranes managed to disarm Smith. Fearing for his life, Cambranes fired several shots at his assailant. Meanwhile, Garoy and Chavez made off with a gold bracelet and a Samsung Galaxy cell phone, worth nearly $4,000. Both men pleaded not guilty, but were denied bail under the Firearms Act. Sambula, who claimed he was merely providing taxi services, has been charged with abetment to burglary for allegedly aiding in the crime. Despite Sambula's argument that he was simply running errands for the Vital Statistics Department, the magistrate emphasized the seriousness of the charges and denied him bail. All 3 men will return to court on September 23rd. 37-year-old police officer Albert Sutherland has been charged with wounding another officer at the police barracks on Vernon Street. Sutherland, who pleaded not guilty, is accused of wounding 34-year-old Dangriga police officer Arnaldo Ical during a confrontation. Following the incident, Sutherland has been placed on interdiction and released on bail of $1,000. The alleged assault occurred on July 12th around 1 a.m. when Sutherland reportedly attacked Ical on the veranda of the barracks. Ical sustained a swollen left cheek and an injured lower lip. He reported that a fellow officer, whom he did not know by name at the time, had been pacing and cursing on the phone before suddenly waking up and punching him. Sutherland is scheduled to appear in court again on October 7th. When we return, how will the government staff all the hospitals it plans to build?
Upcoming enhancements to My Social Security. The new healthcare provider feature seamlessly connects healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers to facilitate the payment of sickness benefits. Here are the enhancements. Registered healthcare providers will create and submit online medical certificates using their healthcare provider accounts. Insured persons will receive a link to view the medical certificate to complete and submit their sickness benefit claim. And employers will receive an email notification of their employee's sickness claim. Also, the insured person and their employer will receive a copy of the claim decision letter after review. Healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers are encouraged to create a portal account to access and benefit from these new services on My Social Security at ssbportal.org.bz. My Social Security online portal. New healthcare provider feature coming this March. Social Security at your fingertips.
The term of the administration, which promised everybody for win, is coming to an end, and they're still not bringing any relief to the masses.
I nearly faint this morning when I got in a shop.
Cost of living continues to rise mercilessly, with government's excessive taxes on fuel, goods, and services. Everything at the supermarket and vegetable market continues to rise.
$5.25 for a barbecue sauce now. For $3.50 to $4.95. No, $5.25. Next time when I go back, I bet it might be $5.75.
Food as basic as bread gone up.
The retail price, which has been held at $1.75 since about 2008, has been increased to $2.10 for a loaf of 16-ounce bread.
The very essence of life, water, just gone up.
Bottled water, right up to the 5-gallon, prices had increased.
Even tacos gone up again. No 2 for $1. And thanks to this government's failed energy policy, BEL is threatening to raise the cost of electricity on consumers. Briceño and the PUP have no mercy. Another term of them we cannot take. Elections are coming and they are going.
Get ready for the 55th Annual General Assembly of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union, live from beautiful Placencia, Belize. Join us as Belize hosts this prestigious event, showcasing its rich blend of cultures, pristine natural beauty, and warm hospitality. Tune in to Channel 5 for the opening ceremony on Monday, August 12th at 7 p.m. and the 35th Caribbean Media Awards on Tuesday, August 13th at 7 p.m. It'll also stream on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Don't miss this exciting opportunity to celebrate excellence in Caribbean broadcasting. The 55th Annual General Assembly of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union and the 35th Caribbean Media Awards, live on Channel 5.
I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speed flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
No, I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
The issue of low staff has been a growing concern in the health sector for years. And now, with the government's plan to construct hospitals across the country, the question of who will staff these hospitals arises. Minister of Health and Wellness, Kevin Bernard, says that the ministry is working towards creating environments that will attract Belizean medical professionals to work in the country.
As usual, there's always staffing needs. We continuously look at advertising for posts. Whenever the new hospitals are built in these areas, those are the first that will be staffed. The other hospitals, for example, Western Region where it is, those will continue to provide primary care service. But gradually, we have to ensure that the tertiary facilities are the ones that will be the priority areas that will have to. Now, it's a known fact that it's across the region, across the world, even in the big United States of America, where there's a shortage of about 60,000 nurses in the United States, the big United States. What happened to our small country? So when they are short, they poach nurses from our countries in the region. And so we have to continuously put in measures in place to retain our staff. And that's one of the reasons why when you look at the compendium of allowances for nurses and our health professionals, we're trying to ensure that we create a package that will see them staying in our country to provide service as opposed to leaving the country for other better packages that they offer, because they offer some of these people fancy packages. And I understand, like for example in the UK, they offer them house, they offer them scholarships, they offer them all sorts of things for the entire family. We can't afford all of that, but we have to make sure that there's a, and I know that for the most of the persons who stay in this country, because they are committed to this country, they want to see our country better, they want to see better healthcare, and they have given their life in support of service for this country in terms of the healthcare profession. And so we continue to look at those things, and there will always be these challenges, but we have to make sure that there's always plan in place to ensure that we have the adequate staff at least to provide the services that are required for Belizean people.
Schools are reopening across the country, and the students at the University of Belize have voiced their frustrations over the difficulties they have experienced in trying to register for classes. The students claim that the portal is not allowing students to sign up for their desired classes, but the window designated for registration is steadily closing. President of UB, Dr. Vincent Palacio, says that the issue lies with the software used for the service, and that assures students that the university is in dialogue with the suppliers to resolve it.
That was not sent to me as the president of the university, and we are doing all that we could to make sure this problem does not happen again. And there's a task force working as we speak. There was a meeting on with the supplier of the software that we use this afternoon. So we're working diligently to make sure that we have the adequate system for our students. I'm aware of the concerns. I have two sons who go here as well. So the frustration is real. So we are doing our best to address it.
How is it that it's just being addressed? I went to the school 10 years ago and I had the same problems from then.
I can't speak to that. we're trying our best. I'm the president today, and we're trying our best to make sure it works.
It does speak though to the IT section of the school. You're teaching IT, but on the other hand, you can't figure out your issues with the IT.
It's not an IT issue. It's a software that we buy from outside. It's called Zenigrade, and they're the ones who host the process. They're the ones who does everything for the process. So our IT just support us around here. The bandwidth issue is one of the supplier, of which, if you notice for the bachelor's degree registration, it was seamless. They did something that worked. So in the future, we have to make sure we do what works at registration time.
But in the meantime, students they feel like they're being held hostage because they're having to pay for extra semesters to take these classes that they couldn't get into.
I am not aware of that. Our registrar works night and day to get students in classes. If the classes are full, we're adding additional sections. So if these students need to get in classes, have them reach out to the registrar for assistance.
It is no secret that mangroves are an important aspect of Belize's environment. They contribute to the preservation of biodiversity and the removal of carbon from the atmosphere, bolstering the blue economy. However, deforestation continues to be a threat to the integrity of Belize's mangroves. We asked the Minister of Blue Economy, Andre Perez, how the issue of deforestation is being addressed within the coastal zone. Here is his response.
In fact, we are still talking about issues about replanting as well. Of course, we realize, and we, again, from the Ministry of Blue Economy standpoint, we all know the importance and the critical role that the mangroves play. So obviously what we're seeing developing down south is also a concern for us. And the blue economy always plays a role in there. That is always good that the development happens in a very sustainable manner. And the blue economy understands that it's always important that we take care of our mangroves and that the development has to be looked at very careful. So it's a fine balance we have to look at. Of course, development has to happen, but certainly not in such a magnitude where the wantonly people are destroying mangroves. We're totally against it.
So you feel that we're trying to take a proactive approach moving forward?
Well, in terms of our ministry and the Coastal Zone Management Authority Institute, we are working together. Also collaborative with all the different departments. In fact, just yesterday, Cabinet were discussing about these things, about replanting, not only the mangroves, but as well as the reforestation. Actually, a project is going to come online very soon about replanting. So we got to do it in that way. In terms of that slash and burn that we talk about, destruction of the forest, we have to find other ways, alternative, which we are working on to be more effective and protecting our mangroves as well as the forest.
Last night, we told you that Punta Gorda Town Mayor Carlos Obea Galvez is taking another victory lap after the High Court struck out at a UDP petition against the town's March 2024 municipal election. In our interview with Mayor Galvez, we also asked him about ongoing infrastructure work within the municipality, like the construction of a marina. Here is what he told us.
I've been spending a lot of time focusing on trying to get the work done. The people of PG have given us a mandate. I'm grateful to the Prime Minister and all the other colleagues, all those other ministers who are very instrumental in ensuring that PG gets its fair share. We have a lot of projects on stream. We have, I can tell you, a milestone achievement is going to be that Joe Taylor Bridge. We have the House of Culture by BTB and Anthony Mala, a marina coming in place. As we speak right now, as I'm doing this interview, that hot mix truck is going down to PG, and we are going to get 5 more streets hot mix hopefully by the end of September. So the work is ongoing. There's a lot of work. I've submitted additional budget for 10 additional cement street. So a lot of work has been going on, and I want to applaud my colleague, Honorable Osmond Martinez. We're a great team, and definitely with him on my side, we are going to accomplish a lot and stick to Plan Belize.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com on both our Facebook and YouTube. I'm Elise Gayon Vernon, and from all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.